Sorry, everybody. Let's try this again. I didn't realize I had the television turned down. I didn't realize it was still in the audio portion of this. Of course, it's not very well because the mic on these laptops are not that good. You get that kind of an echo sound, if you know what I mean. Today, here in Milam County, we had Patrick's hearing. And it was kind of interesting that the prosecution, the DA, his expert witness was either a no-show or I don't know what happened there, but he wasn't there. We expected to see him, and so it was kind of weird. It only lasted maybe 5 or 10 minutes, the pretrial. With still, he didn't say whether the October 21st he didn't confirm that as the trial date, but that's, as of right now, that's what it is, October 21st. Now tomorrow, October 5th, we have our rally here in Milam County. We expect a lot of motorcycles. We expect a lot of people here. I spent the day contacting the local news media and also talking to some other people, answering questions. I had phone calls all day long. People want to know what time it started, but I'm always glad to tell everybody, hey, it starts at 1:30 and it's here in front of the Milam County Courthouse. Now that's not hard to miss because this is a small town, kind of a sleepy little town. I like Cameron and Rosebud up the road here. Yeah, I like these little towns like this, and the courthouse is old and it's got a lot of history. And of course, this morning I got to see their new metal detector there in the courthouse, and that's kind of funny. They've got this metal detector there, brand new, brand spanking new. It looks cool, kind of out of a real modern piece of equipment right there in that old courthouse. It's kind of out of place. But one thing I noticed about it is all the employees that come in and out of there, they don't walk through that thing. They just go around it. They don't care. I mean, what if it was a disgruntled employee? Just saying. So it's quite interesting. Also, I guess he's the guy that's in charge of the metal detector there. He's been with the sheriff's department for 60 years, and he's quite the character. He really is. We were talking to him about bikers that he knows. Kind of an interesting thing. And what I can't say, there were some other things that happened during that pretrial, and I'm not going to talk about it right now because I need to maybe touch base with Patrick's lawyers. I don't want to don't want to cause any problems where there is not. So, but as soon as we've had a good talk about that, we'll be making public what we learned yesterday about the DPS. Now, Patrick, a 24-year Army veteran, Purple Heart recipient, 2 Bronze Stars, other meritorious awards, and just a stellar career in the Army. And they're going to have a problem because Patrick has a better record than the police officer that arrested him, or the DPS officer. And for you people out across the country, DPS here in Texas, the Department of Public Safety, now they kind of lead the legislature around by the nose, and that's how we end up with these draconian laws that stomp all over our constitutional rights, and we end up in gang databases, and so you can end up in a gang database here and not even know it. Matter of fact, you can end up be in a gang database and not even be profiled. We're not too sure how that happens, But we suspect when they come around and they're taking license plate numbers at certain events, that may be. We're not sure. But we're certainly going to ask that question. But they're really, really secretive about those gang databases. Oh, you can't know nothing about that. You can't even have a peek at it. But you can have a peek at it if you're on trial. Oh, yeah. You can. That's in the law. And we'll post it here, TexasBikerRadio.org. We'll post what it says about being able to look at that gang database, what it says about you. Because you certainly have a right to look at it if you are trying to defend yourself as a non-criminal. Let's just put it that way. We hope to see everybody tomorrow. The weather here in Texas is, I don't want to say great, but tomorrow's temperatures here in Milam County are going to be in the lower 90s. It is raining in a few places around central Texas, North Texas, but it's scattered. It's scattered, probably dissipate by in the morning, like it always does. We expect a good crowd. And we like good crowds. And don't forget, after this weekend, we've got another one next weekend. Oh yeah, Fort Worth, it's their turn. Parker County, it's their turn. We're going to do 2 in one day. Yeah. Today, I'm gonna have to go. I've got to go over what I'm going to say tomorrow. And I got plenty to say. Oh yeah, I do. I'll be going over that. I got to put the cameras on charge, everything else. And like I said, the internet is not all that hot, and phone receptions is not all that hot around the Milam County Courthouse. We will try to live stream. If it doesn't work, it just doesn't work. We'll have, but we'll record it, and you'll be able to see it as soon as we get home and get it uploaded and edited so you can see it. We don't edit too much because we want you to see what happened, the whole total thing. We don't want you to think that, hey, we cut something out that we didn't want you to see. That's not our style. And like I said, we had to, our protests are peaceful. We clean the place up when we leave. It's better that we leave it better than it was when we arrived. And we'll, blocking streets, doing all that kind of crap, acting silly. That's not our style. We're here to make a point. And we're here to make a point to the citizens of Milam County. And that'll be the same thing we do in Fort Worth. That'll be the same thing we do in Parker County. It's the same thing at all our rallies. We're there to give information to the people. With that, everybody, have a good evening. I got more to do. It'll be a late night for me and an early morning. I rarely get to ride in one of these things because I'm hauling sound equipment and cameras and everything else. I rarely get to ride my motorcycle on these things. It's a bummer, but it's also a pleasure. There's nothing I like better than defending the constitutional rights of people that's had their constitutional rights violated. And that's certainly what's going on here. With that, everybody, have a good evening and ride safe. I'll see you tomorrow in Milam County, Texas. Actually, the city's Cameron, Texas. See you here. Bye-bye.